Kirby's Dream Land was released for the Nintendo Game Boy in August of 1992 and was published by Nintendo and developed by HAL Laboratories. HAL Laboratories is most known for the Super Smash Bros. Series today, but they also developed Earthbound and The Adventures of Lolo, as well as all the Kirby games. The company chose the name HAL because every letter in HAL is one letter ahead of IBM. Kirby's Dream Land is the first game in the Kirby series, as well as the first appearance of Kirby ever. The game was designed to be playable by young or inexperienced gamers. Kirby's Dream Land is the most simple iteration of any of the Kirby games with only 5 levels. The game also lacks Kirby's signature copy ability, which wouldn't be seen in a Kirby game until the next year when Kirby's Adventure came out for the NES. The game's plot revolves around an evil king named King DDD that has stolen all the food from everyone that lives in Dreamland, so Kirby sets out to get the food back from King DDD. The gameplay is similar to most side-scrollers, however the main difference is that when you hold up, Kirby can fly and float indefinitely. Kirby's primary attack is by inhaling enemies or stars and then spitting them at enemies. He can also attack by blowing a puff of air out while flying. This attack won't affect bosses, however. You have a health bar in this game and it's fairly easy to refill as there's plenty of healing items strewn throughout the levels. The game was designed to be easy and it definitely is. However, after you beat the game the first time, it gives you a code for a harder difficulty called Second Game, which adds new enemies as well as a lot more of them. Second Game also ramps up the difficulty on the bosses by having them attack far more aggressively. The character design for Kirby was originally a dummy character that was just used as a placeholder when the game was in development. However, the model for Kirby grew on the game developers and they decided to keep it as the star of their game. During the game's development, there was a debate on the color Kirby should be. Shigeru Miyamoto wanted the character to be yellow, however the game's developer, Masahiro Sakurai, wanted the character to be pink. Nintendo decided to make Kirby pink, however on the North American cover they chose to have him be white because it better represented the graphics on the Game Boy. I remember back in the early 90s, pretty much everyone I knew that had a Game Boy also owned this game. It was a really great game for the first few playthroughs, but it was one of my only Game Boy games, so I got completely sick of playing it. Kirby's Dream Land has sold over 5 million copies, making it one of the best-selling games for the Game Boy, but this also makes it an extremely common game. According to PriceCharting.com, Kirby's Dream Land is currently worth almost $7. This seems slightly steep to me, especially when it's one of the best-selling games on the console. Kirby's Dream Land is a great game to play if you've never played it to see the origins of Kirby, but the game is really short and doesn't compare to the newer Kirby games. Almost every Kirby game made after this one is more enjoyable because you have the copy ability. So if you're looking for the best old-school Kirby game to play, I would recommend checking out Kirby's Adventure for the NES. But if you're looking for a history lesson, check this one out.